Non sibi solum, Latin. It means not for oneself, but for others. Ostensibly, that's the lesson that I think Donald, Michael, Sue, and Dominic instilled, not only in the students, but also in the teachers. I've known Donald since I was 15. I'm 51, so 36 years. I taught at Actionville as originally a gymnastic instructor. Way back when, I was state champ and eventually a U.S. team member, a collegiate gymnast. But I was a jock. I wasn't really an academic. I certainly wasn't an educator. But because everyone else discussed what I was going to discuss, I want to take this from a different perspective and discuss how Actionville influenced my life, but then link it back to Donald, Michael, Sue, and Dom. The net of it all is that somehow as a result of Actionville, I learned to absolutely love children. As a result of that, I've now mentored 24, 25 children, most of which have had serious issues. Many of them have been arrested. Many have had sexual violations. Many have been in juvenile detention centers. But for some reason, I was attracted to trying to help children, and I never really knew why. Then eventually, I got more involved with church activities, which is interesting because I'm not a religious zealot, but I've witnessed things that organized religion and churches can do and how powerful those actions are. And I never really understood why I worked through the church. And then it dawned on me that I was directly influenced by the Religion program and Michael that I met probably 35 of the 36 years ago, and accompanied on 2 or 3 Religion trips. I believe we went to Puerto Rico, Florida, and some other local events that Donald helped put on. And I also think that they collectively taught me the importance of education. So somehow this jock realized that learning can be fun. And so what I did is I tried to enjoy what I was studying. And I was always a decent student, but somehow as a result of Actionville, I ended up at 3 Ivy League schools, graduated from Harvard and Yale, top in my class, medical and business school, and was a Harvard Management Fellow. And I was a guy that used to flip around. So it's a direct result of the lessons I've learned from Actionville that if one enjoys what they're studying and what they're doing, that the lessons resonate all the more. So that was another lesson. And then some of the other lessons I've learned from Michael indirectly and through Donald's work with Religion is that somehow I got involved in missionary work and work in Africa. And I recently returned several months back from a trip to Kenya, and I'm working with the Archbishop of Kenya on building schools and health programs and a bunch of other programs. But the interesting thing is, I was raised Catholic. This is a Protestant church. They're black, I'm white. So the lessons that I learned and derived from A-ville have been applied to my life in ways that I never would have dreamt. So I feel as if the legacy of Dom and Sue, through the associative theorem, was passed on to their sons, and then directly passed on to scores of students, hundreds and hundreds of them. But then some of it rubbed off on the teachers who were supposed to know the lessons they were teaching from the textbooks, but in the process realized that there's so much more to learn by education that isn't in a book. So with that, thank you, Donald. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for bettering my life. And non sibi solum.